Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a one for you between Nostalgia as our US. His opponent today is going to be Hanwoomul as the Africa Corps. Map today is going to be Angeville Farms. Love this map. Classic. First alphabetically in the Company of Heroes 1 map pool. Been around a long time. Fairly major cutoff point here and here, connecting you to your important field points. This cutoff point actually connects you to the rest of the map as well. So, yeah, we're going to definitely see players going for that cutoff point. This one here and this one here are a bit far back for players to get, so it doesn't happen as often. Of course, this is on the new patch, so I'm hoping our players will bring something new to the table. But the start here, actually unusual build for Nostalgia. Going for 2 scouts into 2 engineers. So he's going to have a mix of close range and far range with not a whole lot of tankiness to show for it. That said, I think we're going to see him going for some early vehicles, potentially. Either that, or we're going to see him going for some early field defenses, which actually is what we're seeing here with these sandbags. So, field defenses got a huge buff last patch, or recently, in that they are built much faster. And we're seeing our US player take advantage of that. Scout's going to get in a duel with this bike. Closing the distance there. Bike's going to have to bail out. Engineers using this house, spotting those Panzer Grenadiers. Our player went for a fairly standard build. I've been seeing a lot more Panzer Pioneers early. Some players go for 3, some players stay on 2, like we're seeing here. I think this also has to do with the field defenses buff, letting you put down more field defenses throughout the map. And Panzer Pioneers are not the worst combat units. Engineers closing the gap, though. And are going to get pushed back here from the looks of things. Motorbike helping out. Scout's going to give up the position to those Panzer Pioneers on the left side. And both players sort of backing off one another. German not going to let this fight go, though. Love him keeping his scouts at maximum range where they're most effective. A machine gun set up behind, trying to bait his opponent into the arc. It's going to work. It's going to suppress those Panzer Grenadiers there, and they're going to give up immediately. Motorbike's been fully repaired. Sandbags again from the Panzer Pioneers. Loving seeing all these field defenses, man. I'm so happy with that buff. Encourage folks to build them. Leads to some interesting play when players are manipulating the map. So, both players coming out relatively even here. Controlling an equal amount of fuel. And if the German managed to capture this munitions point, he will be slightly ahead on munitions overall. Does look like that might happen. Engineers barely going to stop the capture, and these Panzer Pioneers are going to have to give up the spot. So, Scouts also giving it up. Healing has been completed for our US player. And where does our German want to go from here? He is researching. Just kidding, that would be our US player. Adding on the Infantry Support Center. So we're going to see Captain here very shortly. US player locking in the Special Operations Battle Group. Now, while we have a moment of quiet here, fight breaking out, heavy machine gun on the scene here. Suppressing those Panzer Grenadiers once again. More sandbags going down for our German. Big push on this left side by our US player, and he does have a heavy machine gun on that right side, locking down the cutoff point and his access to his critical fuel point there. Engineers doing a ton of work. Now this bike is Vet 1, so it's going to be marking these engineers. They got to go. should make it out okay. And German player upgrading to the GRB-39 grenade launchers, increasing their effectiveness. Assault Grenadiers on the field here. Maybe going for some grenades over this hedgerow. Or just going to close that gap. Heavy machine gun giving up the position right away. Smart decision, I think. Assault Grenadiers probably going to go for that cutoff there. So nice cutoff by our German there on the right. US player ought to pick up this fuel on the left, no problem. It's cool seeing these grenade launchers. You don't see them that often in 1v1s, in my opinion. Flamethrowers are much more popular. But of course, these GRB grenade launchers are very, very good. Half-track on the way for our US player. No surprises there. Engineers with flamethrowers here. Duking out with these assault grenadiers. Grenades going wide, though. And I do think, yeah, the engineers are going to win that fight. Have a machine gun there to help, as well as a half-track. Panzer Grenadiers here. About to face the wrath of this half-track here. Love the play and counterplay from both our players there. AT grenade on this half-track, going to prevent it from running that bike down. Panzer Grenadiers going to give up the position. Engineers going to repair while capturing that point. Nicely done. Captain on the left side going to have to bail out. Should be okay. Heavy machine gun going to suppress the grenade launchers. Bike going to get in behind, though. Is supported by a second heavy machine gun, though. So should be just fine here. Bike going to have to bail out. Panzer Grenadiers barely holding on. Going to capture that point from the looks of things. And a lot of give and take from these players here. So, in the old days, this map was... There were two strategies you could go for, and I think this is still true today, where you can prioritize just the right side and fight over those victory points. If you choose to do that, you're having to deal with, you know, buildings, black half-track on the field here. You're having to deal with all these structures, right? It's a little less open, lots more shot blockers. But you can control both victory points, and that was one school of thought, was to just control the right side and nothing else. The other strategy, of course, is to go for... Engineer probably going to go down here. Nice pickup by those Assault Grenadiers. And, of course, the other option is to fight for both sides, and we're seeing players fight for both sides from the looks of things. They sort of seem to be alternating which side they're going for in strength. Machine gun gonna get caught out just a little bit here. Big push on the left side. There is a bazooka squad for our US player. German player has gone for a 250. What did he go for? Yeah, that was the mechanized Panzerjägers there. 75mm driving away the flak half-track. And actually making use of this 250, closing the gap with these scouts. Scout's going to have to give it up, preventing that capture from happening. Nicely done. So it's great use of this 250, right? Using his superior mobility to pick up territory. Bazookas and 75mm have something to say about that, though. So 250 is going to bail out. Now, they added this little path back here. This didn't used to exist in previous iterations of this map. But it does now, and it can lead to some sneaky little plays, so cool to see. Fight breaking out here. Gonna hop in this building. Grenade's gonna follow him in there. Gonna pick him up, probably. Nice, good connection there. Engineers probably can't stick around for too long. Fight going deep for some free real estate there. Scouts and commandos on the field for our US player. Oops. So let me do a quick check here. Yeah, so the Special Operations Battle Group didn't actually see any direct changes. So we weren't going to see... Not much to talk about there. And I actually think that Armored Support didn't see many changes either. Take a quick look here. Oh, they did. So they decreased the Stuka anti-tank loiter cost, munitions-wise. They nerfed vehicle awareness. They made it so its duration's decreased, its range is decreased. It always detects units, and it costs less command points. So it's more of a change than a direct nerf, I would say. We could argue on whether it's a nerf or not, but my feeling is it's more of a change as opposed to a direct nerf. Panzerjäger's gonna close the gap with the 75mm. 75mm did manage to get a good hit on the 250. Should get another shot here. Didn't take it. Scouts coming to save the day, potentially. 75mm continuing to back off. Is going to get a hit on that Jaeger. And German's going to win the fight, despite losing the 250 there. So should be able to pick up this whole right side with this push. Yeah, so this is what can start to happen as this game goes on, is that both players really start to focus this right side and kind of ignore the left side and just let it be what it is. Barrage coming in here. What is that? Is that the captain? Yeah, that's the captain doing that forward mortar barrage. Blasting the heck out of that house. Commandos here to help. Doing some serious work. Those Panzer Grenadiers have been upgraded with their MG-34s, making them more effective at all ranges. Scouts grabbing their victory point back. And German actually not able to secure this fuel on the right side. Is going to try and capture that fuel on the left side while this is happening. US player getting real aggressive here. Trying to pick up this flak half-track. Might get it. Gonna get a couple bazooka shots here. Oh, not quite. 75mm continuing to chase, but not gonna go too deep there. These Panzer Pioneers got to give up that spot there. No good can come of that. So this is a little cool composition from our US player. I feel like he has all the tools he needs to dominate this right side. Right, he has... Oof, bike going down there. Fortunately for our German. Losing track of that unit. Mine's going down for our US player. That mine's there? No mine. Oh yeah, it is a mine. German planting a mine there on his cutoff point. Protecting it from the rotation. Yeah, so I mean our US player he's got flamethrowers to move stuff out of houses. He's got his captain to do that mortar barrage, drive stuff out, including... Can also make use of that half-track. He's got heavy machine guns that post up in those houses just fine. He's got commandos that can use all the various shot blockers to get close to their targets. So I'm really, really liking this build from our US player. German player is, of course, not out of this fight. Is adding on the Panzer Company now. Now, he isn't going to have the fuel he needs to actually make use of this just yet. And I expect, well, I'm wondering. We might see a Stuka here, but I think a Panzer III is more likely. 75mm. And bazookas shadowing each other there, driving back that flak half-track. I mean, and this is that 75mm's whole job, right? His whole job is to follow that flak half-track around the map, and he's doing a great job of that. Mine picking up some of those engineers there. Good to see both players using mines. Okay, so I said we might see a Panzer III, but I feel like I'm wondering if we're going to see a flame panzer here. Now, it would be a little unusual to add on a panzer command and then go for this flame panzer afterwards. We may still see that happen, but now I'm thinking even more than before that we're going to see a Stuka. I don't know if a Stuka is actually good in this position, but I'm wondering if our German player actually wants to do that. Phosphorus grenade melting these Panzer Grenadiers. Got to get out of there. Mando's holding down this left side. And dominant performance from our U.S. player so far. I mean, he's starting to tick down his opponent in victory points. He's done a really good job controlling the fuel for the last few minutes here. And very cool, we see a support gun on the field for our German player. That's the mechanized IG-18. So this unit saw a buff this patch. Its barrage is now... basically has a higher rate of fire on its barrage, is my takeaway from the patch notes. And let me just pull it up here. Yeah. So it's when a barrage is called in, it will fire faster. Yeah, I mean, it's just an increased rate of fire when barraging. So I think that's to compensate for the fact that it has to barrage in a wider area. But now, oh, that flak half-track might be done for here. Should see it go down. Gonna stop and shoot. Oh, a miss even on the stop and shoot there. Heavy machine gun getting blasted by the flak half-track as it advances. Engineers facing the wrath of these German units. That's a satchel charge. Gonna bail out. Heavy machine gun helping to suppress those commandos on the... or Panzer Grenadiers on the right side. Black half-track did make it out of there. German player picking up the victory point on the left side for free. Browning heavy machine gun did go down, and the German player is going to steal it there. Nice pickup for him. Barrage from the 75mm, not going to find anything. And Assault Grenadier is going to close the gap here. Half-track a little bit surrounded here. Going to find a gap in the hedgerows and bail out. Should make it just fine. Commando's going to drive away those Panzer Grenadiers. A nice little counter push by our German barrage here. What is that? Is that another mortar barrage? It is indeed. Assault Grenadiers closing the gap here. That captain will not be able to stay there for very long. Black half-track's going to come and help out as well. Captain's got to go. Should make it no problem. Scouts, commandos, and 75mm on the scene, though. Flak half-track going to take a shot for its trouble. Back off just a little bit. Assault Grenadiers seemingly content to take this munitions points. Commando's going to close the gap here. Now, I think the Commandos win this fight pretty handily. Yes, they do. Black half-track trying to help, though. And 75mm being hunted by these Panzerjäger. Nice pickup there. AT gun on the field, though, so this is a dead 250. Going to bail out with this Panzerjäger. 250 is going to go down. That was well worth it for our German. Picking up that veteran C2 unit. Support gun barraging away there. Gigantic push on the left side. German trying to meet the push with a couple units of his own to slow it down, especially if he can hold on to that fuel for even a couple more minutes. That'd be good for him. And yeah, nice give and take by both players. We're just seeing a lot of give and take of large pushes into areas. Love seeing that phosphorus round from the bazooka squad, blinding and injuring that heavy machine gun. Gonna make him reposition. Commando's closing the gap. Heavy machine gun setting up just in time, though. He's gonna do some good work against those commandos. Now, this bazooka squad is basically not gonna do a whole lot against these units here, but is gonna get suppressed by the heavy machine gun and force back there. Bazooka's down to 2 members. Heavy Grenadiers on the side here. They don't have access to their smoke here. Are going to run straight into that heavy machine gun. We might see a barrage from the support gun. Is going to come in here. Oh, nice. Smoke barrage there, blinding that heavy machine gun. Going to allow these Grenadiers to get up off the ground there. AT gun overwatching here. And yeah, it's just back and forth, back and forth. You know, it feels like somebody's going to win, and then more units show up for the other player, and Germany's going to win this side long term, despite there still being a couple more units for him to deal with. Might even see him go for this cutoff point here, but it's going to focus down this fuel point instead. Heavy machine gun actually kind of positioning poorly there. Of course, he doesn't know that because he can't see into the fog of war. Fight breaking out on this left side. Barrage from the captain there, going to drive away the heavy machine gun, and the German going to win that fight handily. Bulldozer on the field for our U.S. player, great to see. It's going to really help him against all of these infantry units. And I do believe that is a Panzer III for our German player. It is indeed. So Panzer III going to do just fine against this bulldozer. But our US player does have some dedicated anti-tank options on the field. Support gun bailing out. Getting wrecked by those commandos. Panzer Grenadiers flanking around here. Bulldozer has something to say about that, though. So Bulldozer, of course, isn't super great against moving targets, but it's going to absolutely destroy something like this heavy machine gun. Panzer III on the field, dealing with these commandos. Commandos getting wrecked pretty hard. Now keep in mind that these Panzer IIIs have 100% increased damage from its coaxial gun. Panzerjäger is dealing some damage to this bulldozer. And that'd be a really, really nice pickup if our German could get it, but I don't think he's going to get those commandos. Captain covering their retreat, needs to leave themselves. Are going to get out of there. Panzer III pushing into this heavy machine gun, going to drive him back as well. The German player is going to be able to take care of that right side. German player still has a presence on this left side. Might see him rotate there. Heavy machine gun on the wings of the map there, staying away from the support gun. Mando's trying to hold the line. Trying to get some shots on the Panzer III. Bulldozer here to help out. AT gun also in the area. Phosphorus rounds from those bazookas being super annoying. Nice little flank by those Panzer Grenadiers, going to let him pick up that left side. So, you know, our US player is continuing to do... Ooh, nice pickup on those Panzer Pioneers. That's really nice for our US player. German player adding on another Panzer III here. Barraging that AT gun. So our US player really has done a better job continuing to control the victory points and also continuing to control a majority of the fuel. Our German has done a better job focusing the victory points lately, but unfortunately for him is getting outmaneuvered overall. Captain again barraging this heavy machine gun. Using all his tools at his disposal here. So what this is resulting in is that our German player is, you know, having to work with fewer resources while in sort of a desperation mode of needing to control victory points here. So not out of it yet, of course. Still has some breathing room, especially with two Panzer IIIs on the field. He can spread them out or he can cluster them up and do some serious work here. Grenades coming out on this heavy machine gun. Not going to pick them up. Panzer III is backing away just a little bit there. Commandos are just so crazy, man. They are so, so good. They have great close range. They can switch between having a decent long-range LMG and a bazooka, which is great against something like a Panzer III. And with two of them on the field, that versatility really, really starts to add up. Second bulldozer on the way for our US player. Clearly feeling confident with his ability to deal with tanks as of right now. And it does look like a Panzer Grenadier squad went down on this left side and did get picked up by this. Did get that weapon stolen away by that captain there. Now, if our German player continues to spam Panzer IIIs, which I think he will, and we're going to see it nice. We're going to see a Stuka anti-tank loiter here. German player is going to have to, or U.S. player is going to have to back all the way up here. German player, I'd love to see a barrage right here. So that, that was a nice little call in there to stop those tanks, but he needed to follow it up immediately with some forces. Looks like he's going to focus this right side, unable to capture that right fuel while the commandos are in the area. Panzer III chasing a little bit. Not going to pick him up. German going to go deep here on this right side, fully commit, driving away these commandos and bazooka squads. Panzer III taking a ton of damage there. And is going to go down to those bazookas. That's fairly devastating for our German player. And that's where he's going to throw in the towel. Yeah, I think it was... I mean, our German, or our U.S. player just had a really, really great army comp. I mean, he controlled the heck out of the whole map. I mean, he was everywhere he needed to be. He was, any situation he faced, he had a tool to deal with it. Dude in house, throw a flamethrower on him. Heavy machine gun posted up, throw down some mortars. German pushing in big time, throw down some heavy machine guns. Black half track on the field, use use the flat. If the flak half track's in your way, get your 75mm on the scene. And it was just like that the whole game. So well executed game by our US player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I will see you in the next one.